anyone doesn't know me already, my name is James Rise, and I would like to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do. The Powerful Voices Together group brings groups of self-advocates from across the Freezing Galway to meet together every 6 weeks or so. Our meetings are about influencing positive change for individuals and services, and in communities. We work together and with the other groups to challenge negative attitudes and create a more inclusive society. We have run 2 major conferences called Leaders Action Set and Building Stronger, Safer and Healthier Communities. We have been involved in conclusions about plans such as the Learning Disability Services Improvement Policy and the Health and Social Care Integration. We have run training courses on a wide range of issues which usually involve one of us as a co-trainer. We also keep in touch and update to date with what's happening around welfare benefits, elections and referendums, and have produced 3 newsletters to share this information and explain the work we are doing. Now, some of our members are going to share with you just a few examples of the work we have been doing around Keys to Life outcomes. So we have a healthy life, choice and control, independence and active citizenship. These are some of the talks you'll be hearing about today.
Good morning, I'm Donna Anderson. Here are some things we have been doing around healthy eating and healthy living. One of the health facilitators Leslie came to with Diane from the health improvement team to a gig meeting. They told us about how much sugar and fat is in different foods. I learned a lot from this. We spoke about how to lose weight and how to get more exercise such as walking. We have tried to make sure everyone knows about health passports, but Powerful Voices Together members help to get it going in this area. These have important information about your health and how you need to be supported. For example, when in hospital, one of our members, Louise Belstead, was invited to speak with the Health Minister as part of the NHS Dumfries and Galloway annual review. She told him about problems with health passports, that not everyone had one, and that they were not being used. He told the NHS board that they needed to fix this. Louise also told the minister about other things that would make health services better, such as longer times to talk with our doctor, as well as making sure everyone has a health passport. We want to make sure hospital staff pay attention to them so that people get the care and support they need when in hospital. The health facilitators can help you get and register a health passport if you do not have one. Members were involved in helping to set up learning disability health champions in the hospital, healthcare staff who would take a special interest in people with learning disabilities. Self-advocates were also involved in training these champions. Some of us had some training in making a case for change, which helped us think about the kind of information we might need if we want to put in a complaint about health services or to change the way things work so that it is better for us. The Annan group had photos taken in hospital to help make easy read leaflets. They pretended to have some things wrong with them so that other people can see what might happen if they go into hospital. We were involved in consultations about the new hospital. We made a list of things we wanted to change about health issues, and two of our members took this to the Keys to Life group. One example was hospital staff should stick to stated times for surgery, as one of our members had to wait a long time and was very anxious. We asked our views on draft health social care intervention plans for our areas. We are glad these were put into easy read. We want to make sure lots of more information is put into easy read, as this is very important for us. These are just a few things we have been doing. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Haigh. I'm a wee bit nervous today, it's my first one, so I'm a wee bit nervous. I'm here to tell you about the choice and control. We have helped to run hate crime workshops with Police Scotland in Stranraer, Dumfries and Annan. We've wanted to raise awareness about hate crime for people with a learning disability and their support staff. The workshops covered what disability hate crime is and what to do about it. We also taught about third-party reporting centres and lots of other ways to keep safe. We produce easy read information about scams and third-party reporting centres. Many of our members have helped to raise awareness in the community about the Keep Safe scheme. The Keep Safe scheme aims to help people feel safe in the community. Local shops and public buildings can become safe places for people to go to. Please go into the shops to make sure they are safe and have a private area. If they do, and when staff have been trained, the shops can put the Keep Safe sticker in the window. You can have a Keep Safe card which holds information about you and the contact details of people who trust and will support you if you need this. If you need help, you can go into a shop or building where you see the Keep Safe sticker. Staff will help you. They can phone a family member or a friend or the police for you if you want them to. We have done lots of things to help support this scheme. South Africans from across Dumfries and Galway have visited local shops to encourage them to sign up to this scheme. We've also got some funding from Enable to produce 2,000 keepsake cards for people in our community. Members from the print shop in Castle Douglas printed the cards off. We have produced easy read information about for people who have reading difficulties and may need help from their staff. We work with the Police Scotland to help deliver training to the shops so they can become a safe place. I was one of them, me and my partner, who's not here today, helped to train the staff with the police officer in Newton Stewart. The PVT group and members from other groups came along and supported the launch of the scheme in Dumfries. This was in the local newspapers and on Border TV News. The PV group members have also helped to share information about self-direct support. Wigtonshire was one of the first areas in Scotland to test self-directed support. We have produced easy-read information about it as well, and many members such as James Rice and Robert Sturt have shared their experience of self-directed support at events we have held. Thank you for listening.
Well, this group has been we started up and it's been very successful, and we have a meeting every Friday and we enjoy it and coming to the meeting, and we do a lot of talking about different things in the meeting. And we have different people coming to talk on at our group, the Powerful Voices, and it's very interesting to be able to understand information for easy read. You use easy read. We've gone to the council and had the council at our Powerful Voices discussing things.
To do with easy read?
To do easy read.
To get your all letters that you get from the council.
And we get a lot of letters from the council as well.
So they can come
to come and to Powerful Voices to listen to us what we do.
So we can get the letters in easy read?
We get the letters in easy read.
So
And then we can understand them. Oh, tag.
Tag have been working with improvements for pavements.
Tag has been working with improvements with pavements and Dumfries, Anster and Rama people
We've been
going out and taking pictures of the pavements.
And then they've also been working towards getting new change in places.
And also for working towards getting new changes, changing places and toilets and Dumfries and Galway.
It's very difficult for people to use.
It's very difficult for people to use the hazard chairs. Can't get into the main buildings. We have worked with Enable on Stop the Bus campaign.
So as people have access
And people have access
to the buses
and trains.
So everyone can get about.
So everybody can get about.
So we have the right to go where we want.
And we have the right to go where we want.
And
PET members
have worked with the council
have worked with the council to make it easy.
for us to use
The swimming pools
and
we got to get off and on the buses.
My name's Andrew Doyle, MB. Citizen after citizenship. We have been trying to change things for the better in our communities. We have been talking to people who have the power to make changes, such as the NHS and the local council and the Scottish Government. There have been a lot of elections in the last few years. I know. We think it is important to use our voice and to vote for people that take the time to talk with us, to listen to us, to understand our needs and to commit to trying to change things for us. We have had election workshops. We have voted in elections. We invited the MSPs who were elected to vote for our groups. Oliver Mangell and Emma Harper visited to our group. We made a visit to the Scottish Parliament in Edinburgh. We saw around the buildings. We attended the First Minister's question time. We have a photograph taken with Oliver and Emma. Oliver wrote about meeting our group and our visit to the Scottish Parliament in a newsletter. We have also been mentioned in dispatch debates in the Scottish Parliament because we brought issues about inclusive education to the attention of our MSPs. We held hustings events when candidates in elections came along to our meetings. We asked the question, we told them about things that need to change to make our lives better. We told them how to do this. We put the programs and our ideas how to fix them in a booklet called a manifesto. We issued the list to candidates in the local council elections. We attended our hustings event. We are going to ask them what they have done about those things. We raised awareness and we campaigned. We had held events to raise money to celebrate Human Rights Day and to help refugees arriving in our region. We made £1,500 and a speaker came from Save the Children's to collect the cheque and told us how they support refugees' children. Thank you.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about the expert group. We are a group of adults who have learning disabilities. We come from all over Scotland. We meet in Glasgow and Edinburgh 6 times a year. We work on the Keys to Life strategy. We work alongside members of the Scottish Government and the Scottish Commission for Learning Disabilities. When we meet, we are asked our own views and options, not those of others. We have talked a lot of different issues and have had guest speakers come to consult with us. We have talked about many things, for example, public transport and scrutiny. The Centre of Public Scrutiny, they check that services are improving for people. The experts group were asked what questions should be asked about services with people with learning disabilities. We also meet with Historic Environment Scotland. They look after buildings and places that are important to the history of Scotland. The experts group members were asked about the buildings and places that were important to them. Audit Scotland also come to meet the group. They ask about our experiences of self-directed support. Being a member of the experts group means we share and enable to share our views with the Scottish Government. And I can then share our work through the Powerful Voices Together with self-advocates across Dumfries and Galloway. Thank you for listening.
The other reason I'm really disappointed that she wasn't able to come is because I really wanted to hear from our self-advocates, our members of Powerful Voices Together this morning. Because as you heard yourself, they're doing some fantastic work in this area to try and improve services and communities so that they have the lives that they want to lead across Dumfries and Galloway. That's why I've asked Liam to film the speeches so that we can send these to the Scottish Government and they can hear for themselves what's been going on here. And I will also send them copies of all the speeches today with people's permission. So I hope that's okay. This is what I was sent by Pauline's team to share with you today about the Keys to Life. As you may know, this is the government's strategy for improving the lives of people with learning difficulties or learning disabilities, some people say. And when it first came out, there were 52 recommendations. They then reduced that to 4 key priorities, and they were to be the priorities until the end of last year. So, what this paper is saying is that officials and the Scottish Consortium for Learning Disabilities worked with the RSA, which I think stands for the Royal Society for the Encouragement of Arts, and trusted advisors during the summer of 2017 to take stock of the direction of the next phase of the Keys of Life strategy. The 4 strategic outcomes will remain as they are. And as you've been hearing earlier, they are independence, active citizenship, healthy life, and choice and control. And just a little bit more information to explain those. A healthy life means that people with learning disabilities enjoy the highest standard of living, health, and family life. Choice and control. People with learning disabilities are treated with dignity and respect, and protected from neglect, exploitation, and abuse. Independence. People with learning disabilities are able to live independently in the community with equal access to all aspects of society. And that's why Helen's talk focused a lot on the lack of access and the problems and the barriers with access right across the area. Active citizenship. People with learning disabilities are able to participate in all aspects of community and society. And as you heard earlier from Andrew, people are doing that really well across the area. And Mary and Donna both spoke about that, and as you heard, Donna spoke about all the things we're doing to try and make sure people have a healthy life. And Mary spoke a lot about the work we're doing to keep people safe. The focus of the work for the next phase will fall under 3 main themes, and this is the new bit. The 3 themes are to be living, learning, and working. The details of the implementation or how this will work have yet to be agreed. The next stage of the Keys to Life will be to work more closely with something called the Fairer Scotland, and I'll give you just a little bit of information about that, their delivery plan. And they're meeting with the minister responsible for this plan, Ms. Jean Freeman, MSP, to discuss this early in March. And there's been a bit of a delay on that due to diary pressures, apparently. So you may have heard of the Fairer Scotland. There was quite a lot of information about that either last year or the year before. That was launched in 2016, and it's looking at improving the lives of disabled people in Scotland and ensuring that their human rights are realised. And that label of disabled people takes in anyone with any difficulty or disability, including people with learning difficulties. So they've got, a bit like the Keys to Life, 93 actions, which is an awful lot to try and take forward. So the 5 key ones are to make sure that support services promote independent living, meet the needs, and work together to enable a life of choices, opportunity, and participation. So there's a lot of emphasis there on getting the right services. And again, just to interrupt that a little bit, just to say to people, we do have leaflets on the Charter for involvement. Some people here are signed up to the Charter. We have a local active Charter group, and that's about people coming together and talking about how to improve their own lives and their services and their communities based on 12 statements. in the Charter. If you don't know anything about the Charter, there's hopefully some leaflets on your table or there's some out there. Making sure people have decent incomes and better working lives, making sure that places are accessible to everyone, making sure that people's rights are protected, and making sure that people can participate as active citizens. So you can see there's a really close link there already with the Keys to Life priorities. Now, one of those Keys to Life themes is about living, and I'm just going to ask Dave Bleasdale to speak for just a few minutes about a piece of research he's about to carry out with his new service. Some of you may know Dave from Turning Point Scotland. He's now moved somewhere else, following his so-called retirement, which didn't last long. Dave's going to talk to you a little bit about some research and some consultation that they will be doing in the next few months, and then we're going to go on to the table discussions.
Thanks, Sylvia. Yes, I now represent an organisation called Better Lives Partnership, which is based in Castle Douglas. We've just been given some money from the Hollywood Trust to appoint a research officer. This will be a 9-month post, hopefully starting around about March and lasting till the end of the year. The post is going to be looking at supported living accommodation that's currently available in Dumfries and Galloway, and looking at what some of the gaps are. So we'll be having a kind of wide-ranging consultation with individuals, self-advocate groups, a number of carer representative organisations such as Parent Inclusion Network and the Carer Centre, people like DG Voice, and obviously we'll be linking in with the scoping exercise that we'll hear about this afternoon. As Sylvia says, good housing is very much part of living well, and we really need to look at what housing options there are available for people with additional support needs, both current and future provision, so that we are in a better position to get it right and hopefully inform housing providers about what's needed, what the gaps are, and how we move forward from here. So it'll be a wide-ranging consultation, and we will produce a report for whoever wants to read it at the end of the 9 months. And from what people are saying this morning, we will need to make sure we produce an easy-read version of that report at the end of the 9 months.
Okay, I have enjoyed today. It made me think of what different things are not getting put across to the government, and that the difficulty we have doing different things, because it's finding space and not being able to do things.
I would agree with that, with what Donna says, and also the fact that members of the public and members of the parents don't know about certain issues, like the health passport be one of them.
A lot of folk don't have these health passports. We really need to get people to get them and get them filled out, because a lot of folk have been going into hospital and have not been even taken recognition of. Mm-hmm.
Help advocacy, people, more help, more help.
I think people hopefully will take a lot away from when it finishes, they'll take a lot away from it. That's the right word. I think it's taken a long time to do, and it's going to hopefully it'll make a lot of difference to people's lives now and in the future.
People's sleep support at nights has got to stop. The people's not happy about it.
Hi, I'm Mary. It's my first time doing
the talk today, so I was a wee bit nervous. But I had a lot of support out there helping me be brave and to do it. And if I didn't have Powerful Voices together, I don't know what I would be like. So I've been really nervous lately with things. And if I didn't do the Powerful Voices together, I don't think I would be able to do today.
If it's Plead for Life, it's any institute, the ARC hope to bring awareness and to support to Misa. I've seen a video on the computer and spoke got the dementia means what's their favourite song, and you can play it on the thing and put it on the earphones on and you can sing along to it, and maybe folks like dancing and that.
Well, it's a day like, oh no, I need more workers. For the local many workers at all, I need more workers on pay on time, pay to work, and they want for transport at all. That's not good because caring for the passengers is not good for the workers and the carers and everybody else. There's no room for the wheelchairs and cushioning and all the workers that can hear because the big accidents in the roads and things. And there's no fair to everybody. I saw myself today and pick up more for the rest of the folk, the police and Arnon and I'm at the police and I did do several things. And I want to see a couple of things. I need more jobs opened because some of them are all closing down. The government no help at all. They were there, no Prime Minister, what has to do at the police? Nothing at all. Because there's no fair to everybody else do nothing. And I finally worker to Palmerston, the Queens, Malina, Thursday, Friday, and go back to work. And there's no fair to everybody else. Because folk do nothing. Need jobs in the police, having so close doing. What does everybody else have to do? I got all the mates working to the working, some of them know it. But there's no fair to everybody else to do nothing at all. There's no fair to everybody else.
I have thoroughly enjoyed today. It has been well worth coming to, and I would come back again.